Good evening, everyone. How you doing tonight? Welcome to Real News Live. I'm your host, Chris. Hopefully everyone out there is having a great day in America, even though it's not exactly going well for the country. Hi, Mark. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Rodney. Hi, Karen. Hi, Debbie Rogers. Hi, Richard. Hi, Wanda. Hi, Tam. Hi, Brenda. Hi, other Rodney. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Minnie. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Deanne. Hi, Randy. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Tia. Hi, Karen. Hi, Glinda. Hi, Pam. Hi, Melinda. Hi, Brooke. Hi, Richard. Hi, Penny. Hopefully I said hi to everyone. Hi, Linda. How you guys doing tonight? Crazy out there, everything that's going down, of course. One thing after another. No matter how I feel, I have to go live at this point because something's always going on as we get closer to elections and closer to a debt ceiling showdown that could send the U.S. into the extreme tailspin we've been worried about. This coming along with elections, Democrats are facing the pressure from the raise of the federal debt limit before a likely loss of control of the Congress. I mean, Democrats have to raise the debt limit, otherwise there's nothing they can do. They're going to lose the control of the Congress and the House. And it's likely. It's not even a question now. It's very likely. Hi, Matt, or Alex. Hi, Billy. Hi, Catherine. How you guys doing tonight? Hopefully everyone's doing okay. Less than 25 days worth of diesel fuel left in the supply chain right now, as the number one supplier of diesel is now becoming increasingly scarce, and it's going to require at least 72 hours if you're the supplier Mansfield Energy, which delivers more than 3 billion gallons of diesel a day, associates its products with about 800,000 customers across North America, says now it needs 72 hours advance notice to secure fuel and the appropriate freight because conditions are rapidly devolving. Rapidly devolving. Not slowly. This is a rapid problem that's happening. The data published Wednesday, of course, by the U.S. Energy Information Pact of the Energy Department shows that the inventory on distilled fuel, a category that includes diesel, declined by over 100,000 barrels during the week ending on October 14th. As we know, refineries are producing less oil than we actually use at this point, and we're not able to get refineries from other countries to do it because of new laws that Biden put in place. So it's just crazy. At this point, we are declining. I mean, the U.S. distilled storage levels are 20% below what they should be at this time of year. 20% below, and we're heading into winter. There's not like we have extra refineries we can go and send them to get the refined really quick. And this is going to result in and it could be running about 30 to 80 cents higher than market average. Prices will be running higher because of this. And this is not only does this diesel issue prevent challenges ahead because of the busy holiday season, but it adds on growing inflation concerns that are back building on the back of higher commodity prices. The problem is we can't produce fuel, at the rate we're using it. And we knew this. We shut down refineries and we kept shutting down stuff and buying. Of course, shutting down drilling is one thing, but when you shut down refineries, you can no longer produce the fuel. Refineries can't even run at 90 or 100% right now because as temperatures get lower, refineries are less efficient. It's going to hurt the trucking industry. It's going to hurt any transportation industry because diesel is their main source of fuel. When, of course, you have diesel moving goods around the country and you have an 30 to 80 cents jump in it just because of distribution problems, it's a huge problem. Biden administration said it could lean on 1 million barrels of diesel stored in reserves. That's the 25 days of diesel they're talking about. If we lean on the 1 million barrels of diesel we have left in reserves, 1 million barrels is all the diesel we have left in reserve, just to let you guys know. If we lean on that, we could stretch it to 25 days of demand. This is ridiculous. Refineries in the latest data are operating at, like I said, 90% or 89%. And that's the fullest capacity to distill fuel in production. I mean, that's actually an increase by average of about 5 million barrels per day. But the problem is, we're producing all our oil here now, or gas products, and we're selling them to other countries once produced. This is a global problem. It's not just an election. It's everything. The whole world is falling apart. The supply problem is acute, or particularly acute on the East Coast where I live, which does not have the same dense network of refineries as other parts of the country, or regions that make it dependent on pipelines. We don't have pipelines over here. Yeah, even if they open up all the distilleries and pipelines, we'll still be at a shortage in the long run. This is a problem. So at least we get to spring when diesel fuel production can go up and refinery production can go up. Those supplies, however, they don't think it'll make it to the end user until at least early November, if they do start taking oil out of strategic reserve, which is from the Colonial Pipeline. I mean, you're talking early November. We're talking at least a week out for those supplies. 72 hours, of course, is what we're actually at with actual supplies ready to go right now. And this is a sad, concerning issue. I mean, the feds could fall back to 2% targeted quicker than the market expected interest rates, because the housing prices are primed for a 20% decline at this point. Rapid decline on housing prices, a steep decline on a lot of pricing, only because inflation is up so high that it's going to cause a crash in the market. I mean, we look at what's happening to Europe, we look at what's happening everywhere else in the world, it's happening here. We can't just turn our heads and look away. Midterms are upon us, and of course, we're about to run into a debt ceiling issue once again. And of course, the Democrats want to raise the federal debt ceiling before they lose control of the House and the Senate. So Democrats are under extreme pressure to raise the federal debt limit before a likely loss of control of Congress, to prevent potential shutdowns with Republicans. I mean, the U.S. is borrowing way more money than it can even pay back at this point. I mean, China calls in their debt, which China exchanged just some currency, and they floated their entire currency back up. It changed some of the U.S. currency they had in holding, and they floated their entire currency back up to a elevated rate, which now they're in fine standings. That's not even calling in any of the debt that we owe them. $9 trillion of our national debt is directly owed to China at this point. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about what's actually happening. They want to push for fighting with China at any chance and corner they get. But in the long run, there is no fight. No matter what we do, no matter how big of weapons we have. Darrell Brooks, of course, built on our church. We knew that was going to come down, so that's not a question. Problem is, why didn't they give him life sentence? Or why didn't they give him death penalty? That's the ridiculous thing. But we're looking at prices going down in sales prices because mortgage rates are expected to keep rising. 57% of Americans are seeking overtime or extra shifts because they cannot make paycheck to paycheck. 57% of Americans that have been surveyed. While 38% said they were seeking a second job because their income is so low. You cannot say the economy is in a great state. You cannot say the economy is in a great state or the job market looks so great when 64% of people are looking for additional hours and 47% with children. These are people with children. 64% with children are looking for extra hours at their current job, and 47% of them are looking for a second job in order to afford them. This is ridiculous. We're on the brink of nuclear war. Biden doesn't care. Our government doesn't care. We look at what's happening with companies all around the country declining and, of course, having to perform massive layoffs. Oh, no, but our jobs are so great. We have such a great economy right now, according to the White House. The White House announced Wednesday its plans to expand a public-private cyber partnership, including the chemical sector, which I don't know what that has to do with anything. It's to help the job market, but they think it will. I mean, this is ridiculous. The only thing that people really have of asset value now is houses that they own, and they're expected to lose 20% by the end of the year. I mean, historical low interest rates sent home prices jumping, of course, over 40% in the last 2 years. When surging demand and interest rates were so low, well, interest rates are back up there, and they're not going to back down anytime soon. At the same time, we have Ukraine calling for more to air defense for help as Russia barrages continue throughout the country over there. Ukraine is calling for more air defense from the West to defend itself against Russia. Of course, they don't want to pay for it. They haven't yet. They're not expected to. We're expected to foot that bill because we have all the money in the world, right? Wrong. This is a problem with what's happening is we're getting involved in countries we should not even be involved with at this point. This should have been a NATO or a UN issue with UN peacekeepers long before Russia even went in. And we shouldn't have tried to sell missiles into Ukraine that would have been able to target Moscow. This is information known to the public, but of course it's not talked about. Meanwhile, we're watching Europe, all of Europe pretty much. Now Europeans are having to ponder becoming cold or too cold or not fed. I mean, from bathrooms to kitchens, Europeans are pondering how cold is too cold with fuel in short supply and thermostats turned down this winter. I mean, it's crazy. What's the best to do in the bad situation? More people will die this winter than in summer, and it's not a question. It will happen. Not only because of the cold outside, but indoor cold. As it turns out, most people just can't afford to pay higher fuel prices. European health and data is showing a milder climate where homes often drafty and poorly heated have the highest levels of excessive mortalities in the winter, which a lot of older European properties. This is going to be a hard winter for them, where natural gas and heating oil is not available in supplies that they need. Ukraine's begging for more stuff, even though they're fighting an endless war at this point. It's ridiculous. Meanwhile, greenhouse gases are supposedly at an all-time high, but yet the hole in the ozone layer has shrinked by, I think it was a couple hundred miles total. I don't understand. I mean, they want to say that we're not green enough, but yet the hole in the ozone layer is shrinking, which is a good thing. But yet our greenhouse gases were just too high. Yeah, at this point, that's what they're trying to do. Stop the midterms. Stop midterms. Size of Texas is small compared to the size of the world. Hate to say that, but it is. It's just sad watching what's happening. Republicans are primed to take, of course, seats everywhere across the state, including Nevada, as they plan to as the play for Republicans in the key midterm races over inflation issues. Democratic senators have a hard path to fight. And they're trying to fight Republican senators that obviously have a better platform to stand on right now, even with issues like what's happening in Georgia, trying to force. It's sad. I don't believe we'll ever be speaking Russian or Chinese. I think that's a little bit overrated. Even in China, they speak English. It's not American, it's English, and English has been around for a long time. So, but the governor's race, of course, in a lot of states and the Senate races are easily showing leads. Even in Pennsylvania, popular candidates are sharing statewide tickets and give them the critical boost they need to take those seats. It's looking like we will have a red wave. But what comes with a red wave? More protests, more hate, more anxiety, more riots in the streets because they won't believe the election was fair either. Voters prefer Republicans right now on the economy, and economists assess their plans to fix inflation. And that's what needs to happen. It's just sad. Yep. Yeah, voter suppression is garbage. If that was happening, there would be a lot more. But there's a lot going on, and we're going to keep updating it as long as we can. Thank you guys for joining us here at Real News Live. Once again, if you guys can afford to donate, please do. We desperately need donations. As you see, we don't get paid for ads, and I finally got Facebook to remove the ads because we cannot accept the money from ads. So, God bless you all. God bless America. And hopefully we get some better news by Friday. Sorry, it's a quick night tonight, but my anxiety is, like I said, through the roof. I was on one medication for my seizure disorder. Now they switched me to another one. It was causing problems, so now I'm not on anything for a week. So it'll be a rough week, but we'll get through this. God bless you guys. God bless America. Please stay tuned, and we will be back live Friday night around 9:30 Eastern Standard Time.